Let's start today with the American election. Now, Americans take to the polls, yes, to getting closer and closer. Who will be the next president of the United States? It really is down to the wire, as the polls are saying. Now, celebrities have been getting involved and trying to get people on board to vote, including Julia Roberts, who voiced this advert.
Your turn, honey.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose, you can vote any way you want. And no one will ever know.
Did you make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remember, what happens in the booth stays in the booth.
OK, so that's the ad. I was quite surprised by it, Kelly. I kind of understand the message. I thought it was a little bit kind of 1950s housewife, like, did you vote, honey? Sure did, honey. I was like, oh, I don't know. Do women need to be told how to vote differently from their husbands?
Well, I think there are different customs in different states of America. There are different ways of processing information and different dynamics between relationships and husbands and wives. And it can be such a contentious thing where you're going to place your vote. It's a bit like Brexit, you know, are you voting in, are you voting out?
Yeah, families were divided.
You know, so many families were divided, and this is something that's so central to these families. It's going to change the way that they live their lives for the next 4 years. And so, therefore, it's a massive decision that they're going to make. And so, yes, I think an advert like this is good because it can encourage a woman to feel empowered by that decision. Sometimes there are marriages where the husband is in control of the purse, for example. He's in control of the finances for the family, and he's making all of those decisions. And so that woman may be not feeling empowered enough to make her choice that's outside of her husband's. And then you've got to come home. If you're making a different decision to your husband, sit around the table and all be like having those, conversations that you do about politics that come up ever so often. And even if she hasn't said, openly, she's still got to carry that sense of, I think differently to you. And these ads can maybe give them the strength to know that you can have that autonomy over your decision. And that, for me, is what's important.
In 2024, Mylene, does somebody, people know that it's anonymous voting, so you don't have to tell anybody how you voted.
I mean, you would hope so, but you've got to realise as well, a lot of people now don't even go out and vote. Now that we've got it, now that we've fought so hard to have it, a lot of people just sort of discredit it or hope that everyone else is going to do it for them. That ad, I think, is actually really interesting because a lot of people might look at that and think it's really cheesy.
Exactly what I thought.
Is that what you thought? Actually, what's fascinating is having been to a lot of the southern states, so a lot of the swing states that they're all trying to garner and gather up at the moment, like places like Iowa and Arizona and Texas and Mississippi. I've been to those places, and that is exactly who that advert is targeting, because that is how people react to advertising, and that is how people are feeling. They are going against what are literal man-made laws here. There's a lot of laws around women's fertility that are being made, and, that seems to be Harris's absolute hook at the moment, because women are now having to vote for themselves because men have gone against women's fertility. They've actually voted against their own women's vote.
But it's very sad to me that those women can't voice that to their partners
you've got
and say, no, I don't agree.
I genuinely think, you said it reminds you of the 1950s. I think some of their mindset, especially in the deep south places, they're still in the 1950s when it comes to that. You've met them, when you've been over there, and the way they talk about women and, my wife's job is this and this, what she knows what to do. And I've had conversations with people like that, and I think, are we in the 1950s? So I think it's aimed at them. I think it's really bizarre for us to see that because, but also it is now, a country that is taking away women's rights, of their own body and their own decisions about their own body. So I think she's playing on that. If we've any chance, it's got to be the women that come forward and vote against this, because the men aren't.
Well, it is the female vote, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they say will be the decider. I have changed my view slightly listening to you saying that you've been there, because I haven't been to the Midwest. So when I first saw that, I was like, really?
Well, it is almost a
have you made the right choice, honey?
Well, I think that you walk around those southern states and you just think, I'm in a movie. You get asked to leave your firearms at the door when you go in to go and buy your lunch, and you think it's a movie. But this is people's reality. And you've actually got, if Trump goes in, you've got an outwardly makes no excuses for outward misogynistic behaviour. In fact, makes T-shirts about that kind of behaviour, you know, something to stand by.
Yeah.
So it is going to come down to the women folk, and make no mistake, whatever happens over there will absolutely, you know, it will.
Well,
it
I
filter down
said
to us.
all the polls are saying she's absolutely neck and neck. So they both sides need every single vote.
Every
And I
single
said they
vote.
go to the polls tomorrow. We will know Wednesday,
Yeah.
won't we? And Kay Adams actually is in Washington, I think, is it? Yeah. And we're going to be having her live from Washington on the show tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what she makes of it all.